So you're using Bitcoin-backed stablecoins today. I know there are users on Rootstock, especially in Latin America, using Bitcoin-backed stablecoins. There's a big controversy and conversation in the United States about the Genius Act and how that will affect Bitcoin adoption. There are some Bitcoiners who see stablecoins as competing for market share, right? If someone is able to hold a digital dollar and save in a digital dollar, they might not save in Bitcoin. Other people think that the Genius Act and the stable coins will be a great on ramp for Bitcoin, potentially even to Bitcoin backed stable coins. What do you see from the user behavior that you've observed with users? Are they holding, are users who are coming to the stable, US dollar, are they showing an interest in Bitcoin, or have you seen that?
Yeah, I think again, it's a matter of time horizons, financial time horizons. No, if you live day to day, month to month, quarter to quarter, you will need something that is less volatile than Bitcoin because you need that in order to operate and store value in that. The moment you can start saving something for the future, I would say 2 3 years or more, that's when you want to go to Bitcoin, which is hard money, preserves or increase purchasing power significantly over the years. So if you can afford to store value for 2 3 years or more, you want Bitcoin. If you need to operate in a shorter time frame, you need the dollars, no? And in terms of like getting people closer to, I think the hyper Bitcoinization will have multiple ways. It's not only people like storing value and paying with Bitcoin. Is again, my view on hyper Bitcoinization is one where Bitcoin will be the collateral and the trust building, foundations for other things like what is happening with money on chain. What if instead of having, a dollar backed by Bitcoin, I have a ton of soy backed by Bitcoin? Then I can start having international trade with parties that don't need to trust each other because it's not a real world asset in the sense of like I have a ton of soy that is representing a physical ton of soy that has, jurisdictional risk, counterparty risk. So it's a different thing. So I see Bitcoin as the foundations of an international trade ecosystem that, can remove or detach or abstract the jurisdictional risk of the commodity. So, in a way, I think that's one way where Bitcoin will start being adopted. And it's not Bitcoin directly, it's Bitcoin backing a system, same as with dollar on chain and the digital dollar backed by Bitcoin. That's how we hyper Bitcoinize the world. It's like using Bitcoin as gold. Plus, of course, democratizing access to store of value in the mid to long term for people who otherwise would not have that opportunity. So it's like and removing, the need of one fiat currency to become the reserve of value and the implications that comes with. It's like when you see most of the words through history, they were to protect that reserve of value of the currency of the empire at the moment that was the dominating empire that was at the moment. So, in a way, I think Bitcoin is still extremely relevant. But if we want to get to hyper Bitcoinization, it won't be Bitcoin distributed directly to every human being until Bitcoin has a volatility that is proper for people who will be operating in shorter time horizons. So I think we need stable assets. The question is like how we will build those stable assets will create value for Bitcoin or not. No, it's like we will, and in a way, I've been saying this for a while that until Bitcoin came, the control of money was purely from nation states. But since Libra attempt from Facebook back in the now Meta, we have a third actor that is playing for that game. So you have nation states, you have Bitcoin and decentralized crypto, and then you have corporations. And if you look at the current stable assets, it's the mixture of basically nation states with corporations that are building and distributing these stable assets. So in a way, we have an alliance, very likely a temporary alliance between states and corporations, and then you have fully decentralized crypto as the alternative. So, and again, I don't think one will win over the other. It's like a matter of like having optionality, and people will start distributing their value in the different models. No.